Hello, hi, folks. Happy Saturday, in hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. This is my take two. I was way off on take one, so I have a confession. I just deleted it. I just deleted it and restarted. And it's been a kind of a crazy day. Today is little guy's birthday and just so much stuff. But anyway, I digress. And what is going on? How are you? Sorry. Welcome, Janine. Um, like I said, it's just been a weird day, but let's focus on today's topic. I actually went live a couple minutes ago and I forgot to title it, just completely off. So today, I got a really good one for you. I say that all the time, but it's really good. You know how they say, everybody's got their story, everybody's got a battle they're going through, Or if you've heard me say it, I say everybody's got their own crap on their plate, It's just a different crap, for different people. But everybody's got their own story, everybody's got their own battle they're fighting, and sometimes you talk to somebody and you share your story and they start to share their story, and then you're like, gosh, I'll just be quiet now. You know what I mean? Because your story doesn't even compare to what they're going through, and you had no idea somebody else was going through that. Have you ever had that happen to you? I've had that happen to me a couple times where, and it's the oddest thing, because you're so invested in your story, right? You're sharing your story with some passion, and and it's a painful one for you, and you're sharing it. You're sharing part of your story, what you're going through with that person, and then they say, yeah, and then they relate, and they go, well, this is what I'm going through, and you're like, okay, I'll just be quiet now. And just, have you ever had that? I've had that happen to me. But I was thinking about that today. And I was thinking about that today for a while. And I had this thought, and I had this breakthrough that it's worth sharing. And I'm gonna freestyle this. I made some notes, but I'm gonna freestyle it. But you know how when you're clothed, right? I don't see what's going on your skin. I don't see what's going on, if you have any scars, if you have any tattoos. I don't see any of that, right? Because you got clothes on, right? Personally, I have over 200 stitches in my body, okay? But you couldn't tell because I got clothes on, right? So I've had 7 surgeries. I have over 200 stitches in my body, right? So, but you wouldn't be able to see that. You wouldn't be able to see any of those scars unless, I'm in the gym and I got only shorts on, or, we're at the pool or at the beach or what have you, right? Because clothes will cover it, right? Now, you may have scars. You may have tattoos. You may have burnt scars. You may have moles. You may have birthmarks, right? You may have all that stuff. And nobody will ever know unless, 1, you tell them, 2, you show them, right? So underneath your clothes, underneath my clothes, I got stories to tell, right? I got stories to tell, but I got my own battle, if you would, that I'm dealing with under my clothes, right? So, And the reason why I share that with you, and here I promise it's gonna make sense. I bring it home. So there's and the first movie that popped in my head, and this is one of my favorite movies. I've probably seen this movie, I don't know, a dozen times. Are you one of those people that would see a movie another time and another time? I would love to know if you would. Drop your comments below. But so this movie, it's called The Count of Monte Cristo. It's an older movie. If you haven't watched that movie, I highly recommend watching that movie. It's about love, betrayal, revenge. It's just so good. It's just so good, right? The Count of Monte Cristo. There's a part in there that he is with his, I guess I wouldn't call him his, let's say his aide, his assistant. I don't know what I would call him these days, you know. Remember, it's an older movie, so let's just call him his assistant, you know, not servant, but assistant, right? This guy would be his right arm, right? So one day, he's in his bedroom, and it's early morning, or actually late at night, and he takes his shirt off to go to bed, right? And he sleeps on the floor. I'm not gonna give the theme or the ending of the movie away, because it's just so good. You got to see it. But there's a part that he takes his shirt off, and he turns around he turns around, and he's got scars all over his back. Scars from getting slashed, getting hit, and getting punished, getting roped, you know, just all over his back. But you would never, ever be able to tell, because he had always his shirt on. So his servant or aide, his aide, turns to him and says, "Who did that to you?" Now, I'm going to pause right there, because I'm not going to give the rest of the movie away, right? He goes, "Who did that to you?" Now, remember, this is a guy that has been his aide, his servant for a while, right? And never knew the story. Never knew the battle marks. Never knew about the scars. Never knew about what he is and has gone through. And it's a lot like the same concept that you hear often. People say, "Oh, you know, you don't know what that guy's going through. You don't know what that girl is going through. Everybody's got their own battles. Everybody's got their own crap that they're dealing with, they're going through," right? And we sometimes we kind of treat that casually, right? We kind of hear it and we're like, yeah, everybody's got their stories, but man, wait until you hear my story, because why we want to glorify our own crappy life. We want to show off to somebody else, "Hey, listen, my life is crappier than yours." Like, why would you want to win that competition? Like, seriously, think about that. Like, why would you want to win that competition? Why would that even be a competition? Right? So it's a lot like that. Imagine that when you talk to people. Imagine, listen, people may be scarred up and you never know it. And those scars, they tell stories. I have 200 stitches. And they didn't come all at once. They came over 7 surgeries. That's 7 different stories. And just from those, I can expand onto more stories. How I overcame, how I got there, how I went through it. Just all that, right? But nobody would ever know. Why? Because I gotta tell it and I gotta show it, right? But I wanna ask you this. Next time you run into people, which is most likely gonna be tomorrow, you're gonna run into people all the time. Remember that. Remember, hey, listen, they may be all scarred up. You never know you never know the scars they have had over the years. They've collected over the years. You never know that until they tell you or show you, right? And nobody's usually that quick to come out and say, hey, by the way, let me, you see this scar? Oh yeah, 48 stitches, baby. It's a winner, right? No, nobody, I'm not gonna do that. Why would I do that? That's like dumb. But then, as soon as we see somebody, we tell about our life scars, right? We tell them about how crappy everything is and this and that, right? But remember that somewhere early in you telling the story, your story, press pause and just consider this. This is my point. This is the thought of the day. Press pause and consider this. I'm sharing my whatever story. Press pause for a second and consider this. Hey, I may have just a couple of scars, but this guy or this gal may have 100 or 200 scars. They may have a tougher story. They may have a more crazier stuff that they're going through than I. You feel me? So the next time you want to try to talk about your scars, then talk about your whatever, just take a quick pause. I was thinking about that all day today. Take a quick pause and say, now, somebody else, right, has got a worse story than I do. But there's a other side, and I'm not going to go to it in this live, but there's the other side of it too, because there's somebody else going through that, but there's somebody else going through that in a much better way as well on the other side. So there's always 2 sides to a coin, right? But here's the point of the day, the thought of the day is that, listen, before you start talking about your scars, like I said, just pause for a second, think, and say, listen, this guy in front of me, this gal in front of me, they may have a lot more scars than I do. Just keep that in mind, right? And also, if you haven't watched the movie, The Count of Monte Cristo, go get it. Go get it. I'm dating myself. Go get it means, I don't mean go to Blockbuster and get it anymore. I mean go get it on Netflix or demand. It's there. The Count of Monte Cristo. You won't be disappointed. And if you've seen it, I have by far I have 3 or 4 of my favorite scenes in this movie, and you'll enjoy it. So get a hold of that movie and enjoy it. And if you've seen it, drop down. This is what I was going to ask you. If you've seen it, drop down in the comments below. Let me know what scene is your favorite. Like what really rocks your world, and if you haven't, see it and then tell me which scene is your best. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. Sorry I was a little off, and Yeah. Hopefully you got enough value to say, hey, I gotta share this stuff. Tag a couple people to this, share it on your wall. Do what you gotta do. Spread the love. And remember, if you share, you show that you care. Until tomorrow, where we do it all over again. Much love.